Yeet. Keep. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me for another modern quick match. Now nothing fancy here, just what the title says, and November is going to be packed with Death Shadow matches to hold you over until the next deep dive analysis comes out. Then it'll be a month for another deck. I'll start off with a quick deck tech, which is the same one from the last modern matchup analysis video. So if you've already seen it, or you just want to get right to the gameplay, I have included a timestamp in the description below. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, as it's a free way to support the channel. Based on metagame data, this is what the typical Death Shadow build looks like in today's world. When seeing these cards, it's important to remember that the deck does not want the game to go long, and it wants to do everything as efficiently as possible in the first few turns. Low CMCs, hyper efficiency is the name of the game here. Let's start with the namesake card Death Shadow. This deck is all about using your life total as a resource in exchange for being able to play the most power per mana spent in the format. And Shadow is the epitome of this. 1 mana for a creature that starts small and grows as the game goes on. It's not uncommon for this to be a 1 mana 10/10 after a few turns. Usually we go over the mana base last, but this deck utilizes fetch lands and shocks more aggressively than any other deck in the format, and it's a large part of the strategy. The idea is to use whatever resource possible, including lands, to get our life total under 13 to land a Shadow. We're looking at 10 fetches and 5 shocks, with a couple of basics as a necessity against Pass and Field of Ruins. In many ways, this deck mirrors traditional Jund strategies. That is, a turn 1 discard spell to make the opponent stumble, followed by a turn 2 or 3 landed threat that grows with the game and will just be bigger than theirs, and then use hyper efficient answers the rest of the way. That turn 1 discard spell of choice here is Thoughtseize, as it helps grow the Shadow and is the best discard spell in the format. Add in a couple of Inquisitions, and hitting a turn 1 discard spell is fairly consistent. Street Wraiths, Mishra Baubles, and Thought Scours provide us with more consistency through cantripping, with the Wraith doing double duty at helping out our Shadow grow. Thought Scour also has an important function in filling our graveyard because the only other real threat in the deck outside of Death Shadow is Gurmag Angler. Big Zombie Fish is a remarkable case study in just how powerful the delve mechanic is. Note to Wizards, if you print an otherwise vanilla 5/5 at common and it sees play in one of the most powerful formats in all of Magic, it's probably a sign that the mechanic on it is way too strong. This big guy does a great Shadow impression, often only costing a single black mana by himself. The truth of Modern is that a 5/5 is often just bigger than anything else the format is doing, which is why Tasigur, the Golden Fang, who used to be included in the deck, doesn't even see play anymore at 1 less power and even 1 less card to delve. So, once our threat is landed, the game plan is to interact a lot. Stubborn Denial becomes one of the best counters in the format with a threat down. Hitting creatures isn't often relevant because our landed threat is usually bigger and badder than whatever they're doing in the first 4 turns of the game. There are exceptions of course, but this becomes one of the best cards in the deck when turned on. Fatal Push, Dismembers, and a Bolt are the best at what they do for a single mana. Dismember also helps our Shadow game plan, and with Snapcasters in the mix, the fact that this deck doesn't want to go much above 3 mana in play, 1 mana removal is where we want to be. Cullen's Command is a great catch-all against problematic cards like Ensnaring Bridge and otherwise obscene artifacts in the format, and can also get our threats back in our hand, which is important because we essentially only run 8 real threats. We round out the main board with the big finisher, Temur Battle Rage. I'd argue that this is the card most opponents of Shadow decks are most afraid of. It always has to be accounted for because it is often just a one-shot that will end the game on the spot, doubling damage and trampling over any small early game blockers. So, to the sideboard. Rejections fit in nicely, as we like 1 mana answers, and this hits a variety of problems in the format like Tron, Eldrazi, Ensnaring Bridges, etc. Our Braids provide more artifact answers as well as small creature removal. Spell Snare is just great in this meta, as pretty much every deck has some amount of important 2-drops. Alpine Moon, costing 1 mana, is a big deal, and it hits against Tron and Valakut decks, with also some fringe other uses. An extra K command is great against artifact decks. Lily the Last Hope is fantastic at mowing down go-wide strategies, as chump blocking decks are actually fairly effective against us. Collective Brutality is just a burn all-star, and it's especially necessary since that matchup is one of the trickiest tightropes to walk in all of Modern. Disdainful Stroke is needed against big mana decks that are trying to do bigger and meaner things than us. Plague Engineer is one of my favorite cards from Modern Horizons, and I love that decks like this are utilizing it so much. It's a house against tribal strategies, and it's huge game against Thopter Foundry decks as well. Again, token decks can be very problematic for this deck. Finish it off with Seasoned Pyromancer. It's been getting some love as it gives us some extra game against control decks in particular. Alright, hello everyone. We are back, and we are playing some Grixis Death Shadow. And that is way too many lands for a 17 land deck. We are definitely mulliganing that away. This is not better. But can we actually go down to 6 or 5? Let's not. At least we have 1 piece of interaction, so we will keep it. Put a Scalding Tarn to the bottom and pass it. Start the game, I should say. Mishra's Bauble cracks the bauble. He knows something we don't. All right, this looks like Whirza. Which Whirza is it? That is the question. So we would really like some disruption more than anything. But we will throw down a Bloodstained Mire and pass the turn. So our opponent saw that angler, so he definitely knows what he or she definitely knows what we're on. Grafdigger's Cage does hurt our Snapcasters a bit. Mildly annoying. Polluted Delta. Mox Opal. Well, our life total is not going to matter till it's over, so we can fetch and shock easily here. That's a great draw. Okay, perfect. We will rip this out and see what our opponent's working with. Wow, just an Whirza. Okay, so 3 lands, Whirza. All right, that does hurt to miss that. But the good thing is we can kill an Whirza. Polluted Delta cracks. Inventor's Fair. Well, they do slam the Whirza. So the question is, would we rather kill Whirza or the Construct? I believe the answer has to be Whirza, but it is worth a thought. Alright, so Construct plus Island, Swamp, Unknown. That's Cycle of Street Wraith. Cycle of Street Wraith. Stubborn Denial. Well, let's get a Zombie Fish down. Blood Crypt. We won't pay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because none of those cards matter anyway with the Grafdigger's Cage. So we will pass the turn. And with Stubborn Denial up, this feels pretty good. Goblin Engineer. Okay. Sword of the Meek down. Swamp down. So Island and an Unknown. Death Shadow's very good. Yeah, so this is nice because we can Stubborn Denial the Thopter Foundry when it finally comes down. Let's get in with the Zombie Fish. Down a Shadow and pass the turn. Snow-covered Island down, so 2 Unknowns in hand. Goblin Engineer. Okay. That is annoying because now they'll be able to get the Foundry in. Yeah, that was a great draw for them. Mox Opal down. Sure. Yep, now they do the thing. Make a ton of Thopters, which is trouble for us. Now, the only way we win this... Actually, we don't win this now. Even Battle Rage doesn't save us here. Good game, opponent. Good game. Okay, so how do we sideboard against Whirza? Disdainful Stroke and Spell Snare seem great. Rejection does not. The only thing Rejection's good for is the Ensnaring Bridge, but I think we'd rather just have K commands and a Braids. So we'll go down all of our baubles. We'll go down all of our air. I think that's the way to go. Yep, and we'll try it like that. Plague Engineer should be the all-star here, so let's hope we hit one of them. And we will play first. This hand is not great, but we do have turn 1 Disruption into a Thought Scour the next turn for a redraw. It's not great, but I think we're going to keep it. Mulligan's to 5. Wow, this deck, Mulligan's okay, but down to 5 is rough. Let's see. Especially with an Inquisition coming, this is a big deal. So we will fetch shock, and let's see how badly we can really put them on the back foot here with an Inquisition. Trophy Engineer. So Foundry does absolutely nothing without the sword, and then we can kill the Foundry with the K command. I think that's what we want to do just in case they can get tricky with the Engineer and either get the Sword of the Meek or the Ensnaring Bridge. So let's take the Engineer while the Foundry can't really do anything. Bauble is the draw, so they do get a redraw. Cracks on themselves, so they are going to try to find something to shuffle away with their Scalding Tarn. They do get the redraw, and the land is very nice for us. So I think we are going to Thought Scour ourselves now in the hopes that we can get another discard spell or Shadow. Okay. Well, we will pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can Angler next turn. Steam Vents. Snow-covered island. Alright, they get the second engineer. That is trouble. The good thing is they will need another artifact to actually get online. The deck has plenty, so it's not a huge deal, but it is something worth noting. So they have nothing to sacrifice to get anything back yet. The thought is, do we K-command now, force him to discard and kill the engineer? Or do we wait to use the K-command as a removal spell for the Thopter Foundry? That might be better. So we are going to shock in Steam Vents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get our angler down and pass the turn. Okay, let's see what they can do here. Okay, looks like a miss. They're up to 4 cards in hand. So Foundry, Trophy. Ooh, Engineer is very good. Okay, well, let's do it. Let's start getting in. And I am just going to slam this Engineer. I don't think they have much removal for it. They've got a trophy in hand, but they don't have black or green mana. So we are just going to do that. Name Thopter. Pass the turn. They're stuck on lands too. Yeah, they're really behind here now. What could be in their hand, I wonder? Alright, well first we will get in. We will then play a death not yet. That would be disastrous. Let's crack a Delta. Get a Blood Crypt. Get our Death Shadow in. And pass the turn. We're not going to overextend here, just in case. We'll keep the K command up in case they can land a Foundry. Alright, and that went well, but it was on the back of a multiply from our opponent, so this is certainly going to be a tough game 3 now. The only real question is, do we want a rejection in? I just don't think there's enough real targets for rejection. Maybe we do want brutalities for extra discard and killing engineers. I just don't know what we would take out though. We're already very down on all the air. We did see him bring a Grafdigger's Cage in. I wonder if he's keeping it and it'd be smart to take out Snapcasters. Yeah, I like that. I think Snapcasters would just feel bad in our hand in the first few turns of this game, while Brutality could actually really do something. Let's try that. The Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meat combo is real trouble for this deck. Any kind of go wide, it's a lot of trouble for a lot of decks, let's be serious, but a lot of trouble for go wide strategies for Shadow. So we need to be able to take that off the table as much as possible here. We really want to turn 1 discard spell, especially being on the draw. I think our Plague Engineer showing that game too might have made our opponent go a different route, but we will see. All right, game 3 for Grixis Shadow versus Whirza, and this hand, if it was a 2-lander, this would be an instant keep. I still think we have to keep it, but I don't feel great about it. Yeah, on the back of this Inquisition, I think we do. Yeah, and then we have an answer for an Urza. Oh, we need lands, though. We need lands in the worst way. Opponent, Delta, kept 7. Not good news. Snow-covered island. Into an Astrolabe. Okay. Very good start for the Urza deck. Not what we wanted. We needed lands. Let's see if we can't get lucky here. Oko. Whoa. Okay. Well, this is good news, actually. This is actually really good news because we can deal with the bridge later and just trophies. We do need hit land drops, but this is actually the best case scenario. Yeah, it's got to be Oko, but okay, we have a chance. We need to hit land drops. Oh my goodness. Breeding Pool. Intapped. Land, land, land. Oh my god, we did it. Okay. Now I'm feeling much, much better about our chances here. So, okay. We know about the bridge. I think what we do here is Trophy is coming next turn. So Thought Scour gets us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I think we're just doing that. Let's Thought Scour ourselves here. Actually, let's get our land first in case, for whatever reason, we hit it by mistake. Get a Blood Crypt. Thought Scour ourselves. Into a Thoughtseize. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there's 2 trophies, so there's no way this angler is living long. But this is the plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, angler down. And now they have to decide if they want to kill it or play something relevant. Island. They might just throw down the bridge. Yep, snaring bridge down. Okay, we do have the answer to the bridge. So that's the question. Do we just abrade now before they have any real response to it? Or do we clear the way with double Thoughtseize? I think we just destroy the bridge now in case they can Whir of Invention for an welding jar. So let's do that. Bridge down. Now we have them on a clock. And now they're forced to rip off a trophy here. Okay, yep. We will indeed go get a island. Teamer Battle Rage. Let's clear the path of the Thoughtseize. We actually have the answer for Thopter Foundry. I'm sorry, we have the answer for Whirza. So I say we take the Foundry, take the Whir, and then kill Whirza. That sounds good to me. So Trophy and Whirza in hand, and he doesn't even have Whirza mana. Okay, well, this is getting very trophied, that is for sure. Yeah, get our mountain, or swamp, pass the turn. Alright, now they slam the Whirza. Yep, and we will kill it. Alright, construct down, 1 card in hand. We just need a threat. K command is very good. Because now we can return. We'll make them discard and get our shadow back. Or do we want angler? Maybe we just want angler. It's a faster clock. Yeah, let's do that. Turn target creature from graveyard to hand. K command does 2 damage to any target. No. Target player discards a card. Turn target creature from graveyard to hand to target player discards a card. Yes, that's what we want. So what did we hit? What are they discarding? Tezzeret. That's a great hit. Holy moly. Okay, now we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get down our angler. Rips an Whirza. Oh, yeah. That is a great hit. Oh, that's the nightmare. Well, we'll get in. Okay, down to 8. That's good. Pass the turn. Man, that was the perfect rip off the top. Oh, that was brilliant. Good job, Whirza player. Gets in for 3. Okay. We're okay with that. So what did they draw? So they have 7 points of blocking available, which means we would kill Whirza, which is nice. But first we'll start with this. Stubborn Denial is really nice. Well, let's get in. Yeah, we will Stubborn Denial that. And that'll deal 7. Down to 1. Now they do need to win right here, because we got another one coming. Opal. Gonna be able to spin. What do they hit? Land. We did it. Oh my goodness. Okay, and that's the ball game. Wow, that was a great match. We got super lucky. Well, to be fair, they got lucky ripping an Whirza off the top, but double Battle Rage. Getting in with angler. There's only 2 in the deck. Good game's opponent. Wow, that was quite the match. Woo! Hearts racing there. Highs and lows for sure. Once we hit that Tezzeret with the Kolaghan's command, I thought we were soaring high, and then right off the back of that, they ripped the Whirza. And we needed both Battle Rages. That was wild. Good game.